So the study design is a systematic approach used to study the distribution and determinants of health-related events. The observational studies, there are two broad types of study designs: observational studies and experimental studies. Observational studies, they do not have any intervention, just we have to observe the natural course. And in case of experimental studies, researcher intervenes to modify the exposure. The objective of descriptive study designs is to describe the occurrence of disease or health outcome. The types are case reports or case series and cross-sectional studies. A case report is a detailed report of a single case, for example, a single case of a rare disease, useful for alerting the new diseases. The case series, it is a description of multiple cases. It is good for detecting common features among the cases. And cross-sectional studies, they are snapshot at a single point in time. It measures prevalence. Example, National Family Health Survey. It is a large survey that is conducted after every 4 or 5 years. The strengths of descriptive study designs are they are quick, inexpensive, and they are used generally for the purpose of hypothesis generating. And the limitations are they cannot establish causality. The descriptive studies describe occurrence and distribution of the disease. Okay. It's again same. The types are case report, case series, cross-sectional study, and they are used to generate the hypothesis. The analytical study designs, they identify risk factors by comparing those with and without disease. Select cases and controls and assess previous exposure. The key measures are of case control study are odds ratio. In case of case control study, we can calculate odds ratio. The strength are these are good for rare diseases, relatively quick and inexpensive. Limitations are they are prone to recall bias and cannot directly measure the incidence or risk.
So these features we have seen, Dr. Amrita, okay,
Yes.
in the questions. Okay.
So case
Yes,
control
sir.
study can be used. They are good option for in case of rare diseases.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. As told by sir, if exposure is there, we can go for cohort, right? Then cohort study, the objectives are follow groups with and without exposure to see who develops the disease. So this is there are two types of cohort studies: prospective and retrospective. In case of prospective, you start with the exposure status and follow forward in the time. In case of retrospective, use existing records and look back in the time for exposure. The key measures are here we can calculate relative risk. The strengths are you can study multiple outcomes, good for studying casual relationships, and limitations are they are time consuming, expensive, and attrition bias is there. Loss to follow up is higher as compared to other study designs in case of core study. Then again, another experimental study design is randomized control trials. The objective is to test the effectiveness of an intervention, design random allocation to intervention and control groups. And here also we use blinding, single, double, or triple that minimizes the bias. The strengths are it is highest level of evidence for causality, control over confounding variables. It has higher control as compared to other study designs. Limitations, ethical and feasibility issues are there, and they are expensive and time consuming. The other experimental study designs are pill trials. They are conducted in among healthy individuals to prevent the disease, like vaccine trials. Then community trials, intervention applied to entire communities or groups, for example, community level health promotion campaigns. Then field trials, they focus on preventive strategies, and common community trials useful for public health interventions. This is the summary table. The study type, purpose and example. For example, first COVID-19 pneumonia case, we can prepare here a case report. Then obesity survey is a type of cross-sectional study. Here we can measure prevalence of obesity. Then case control, here we identify risk factors retrospectively, smoking and lung cancer, for example. Then cohort, follow exposure to outcome. One of the example of cohort studies, Framingham heart study. RCT, test interventions. They are generally used in case of new drug trials. Field trials, they are preventive interventions like polio vaccine trial, and community trial, public health interventions like anti-smoking campaigns. Okay. And these are the key considerations while choosing a study design. The research question, descriptive versus analytical or experimental, then time and resources available, ethical issues, nature of disease, rare versus common, and exposure tests, whether it is modifiable or not. These are the key considerations while choosing a appropriate study design.